Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. Happy Friday. It's another beautiful one out here in the Pacific Northwest. Today, we're going to be talking about the new trailer that was launched with the announcement of Season 2 of War of the Visions on the JP side. It is pretty darn cool, and I got to admit, you know, it gets my inner like going, right? And I think every Final Fantasy fanboy will love it. There's not really any spoilers in there. It does seem weird, though. Rundal is featured prominently, which it was my understanding that Glaciella was going to be more of a primary character and main focus in Season 2. So a little bit weird on that end for me, but it's just pretty damn cool. And so let's go ahead. We're going to watch it together. You're going to get to hear my annoying-ass commentary in the middle, so you have to forgive me ahead of time. God, I really felt the American there with that eagle coming in. I love how prominently Jaden is featured, and the fact that this gun looks just like Olive's cannon, except it's a fucking machine gun. Like, he's just gunning everybody down. And can we just acknowledge that, like, Rundal looks like the only kingdom that's an actual kingdom compared to Leonis and Horn? I do think this scene is really interesting in particular since you actually get to see visions, right? What I'm assuming is the manifestation of visions, or how they would do it in like a CGI form. That's definitely super cool. I almost kind of wish we had stuff like this going on in the game, or it was represented a little bit more artistically like this. And I think this is the craziest part here, where there's like a giant-ass broken crystal over Leonis. I'm guessing that's Leonis. Like, I don't know what is going on. We haven't really finished the primary storyline yet for Season 1, but it definitely gets me in a situation where I'm like, oh man, who knows what is going to be coming with Season 2. And again, it's a little bit weird to me because they did predominantly talk about how they wanted Glaciella to be more of a main character. I'm wondering what they're going to lean in on there. I'm also curious why Jaden and Mont are fighting. It kind of makes me wonder if, like, we're just not going back to Wizette for a while, or if maybe, like, Mashery and Mont did tie the knot, right? Maybe Mont is also the King of Horn now, or is honoring kind of his relationship with Horn and going after Rundal. Maybe Rundal was blamed potentially for killing Dario. Who knows? Who knows anything about that, right? Like, I think it seems to me like story-wise and plot-wise, the characters don't understand yet why Dario was killed, right? So it's like, maybe that has something to do with it. Like, we obviously know, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't done 13.1, pause the video right now. We obviously know that King Rob is dead, and it was definitely a heartbreaker. It's interesting to me to think of, like, what would happen? Does that make Mashery queen? Is kind of my thought. Is there another person in line for the throne? Does Mashery and Mont tie the knot, and so then Mont is both the King of Leonis and the King of Horn? Or would Mashery be, like, where does Helena come into this when Helena returns to the storyline? Has Helena returned to the storyline, right? I'm assuming Helena is going to return since we do get the Black Rose Helena unit here in the near future. It's going to be interesting. I'm definitely curious where the storyline goes. I kind of hope that King Rob gets a better death than what he actually got in the story. And then it kind of makes me wonder, where's Fennis in all this, right? So we had, like, it's almost like all we really saw was Leonis. We saw, of course, you know, Rundal, and then we saw the church like once, like little bit, like mages casting in the wood. We didn't even see like Sottily. We didn't even see any of the others. So I'm super excited for season 2. I'm super stoked. There's a link down below if you guys want to watch that trailer again over again, if you're like me, where you're just like watching it 4 times, and then, you know, the next thing you know, you're watching the Final Fantasy 16 trailer because you can't wait for that to come out. Then the next thing you know, like an hour's gone by and you've only watched like Final Fantasy trailers for the last hour because, you know, Final Fantasy 16 morphed into watching the Final Fantasy Endwalker trailer, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I need to go listen to YouTuber renditions of what the Endwalker boss theme might sound like, and then you're just gone for like an hour listening to a variety of different YouTube videos. If you're anything like me, and you see those videos on the side of your YouTube screen right now, turn YouTube off, because you're gonna get trapped just like I did, watching these trailers for hours on end. Anyway, everybody, I wanted to do a quick morning video to kind of perk you up today, and have a great rest of your day.